Hello everyone, today I'm here in Mentor, Ohio, outside of their Chuck E. Cheese. We're going to go in there and I'm going to give you guys the full store tour and we'll talk about the history and see their games and their art and all that kind of stuff. It looks pretty big from the outside, so I'm excited to see how big it is on the inside. So let's get in there and check this store out. Alright guys, let's start this tour off right here in the showroom. So front and center, they have their video wall with their 2021 model dance floor. And it's been a while since I've seen the spaceship graphics, so I guess that's what they have for Evergreen September here in the store. They have the spaceship graphics on it, or at least this one does. They have all 5 character posters. They are old font, and none of them are in band order. However, Chucky is around the spot where he would have stood since they used to have a one stage here. He would have been right around there, and that is correct. However, the characters, none of them are in the right band order because Pasquale's over there on the left, and then Jasper's over there all the way to the right. So there's that. Now, this store did get a pretty basic refresh, so they have the newer version of the 2.0 carpet. They have the 2.0 benches and tables. However, they do have a mixture of different kinds of booths. Since it's a refresh, they do not have any 2.0 booths. However, as you can see here, they have the late Phase 4 booths, which are the red and blue with this texture material here. And then over in the corner, they have another one of those late Phase 4 booths. However, they also have the 90s game room booths, which a store would have opened with. So those are turquoise, and then they have the red. So just an interesting mixture here in this store. To the left of Chucky's portrait, they do have an emergency exit down there in that little space. Probably the Chucky room is in there as well. And then moving on over here to the right-hand side of the showroom, next to Jasper's portrait, they have one of the large 2.0 logos, and then they have more of the late Phase 4 and the traditional Phase 4. So here's another booth type they have in this store with the yellow, whatever those are called, like buttons or whatever. I'm not sure what to call those, but those are the traditional Phase 4 booths. Also here they have their Rockstar Ticket Blaster. However, it is off today, so I guess they don't have any birthday parties scheduled for today, but that is off. And then here is a shot of their full showroom. Pretty big one here in this store, and they pretty much kept the same shape because they do have the old outline where the showroom walls would have been. Now let's move back over to the left-hand side of the store, and we will take a look at their game room, which is behind the showroom and not the kiddie ride area in this store. So we're going to start off here with Shooting Mania, and then they have Gumdrop, then they have NBA Hoops, Down the Clown, they have 4 Alley Rollers with Marquee, and then 2.0 stripes all on this wall. Then they have 2-Minute Drill, they have Simpsons Soccer, they have Water Blast, Ring Toss, NBA Game Time. This one is kind of rare. I don't see this one too much. Sharky's Treasure. That one's nice to see. They have Plinko and a Big Win Super Spin, and then they have an emergency exit with the 2.0 emergency exit only sticker, new font. Here along the front wall, they have more of the late Phase 4 red and blue booths, and then they have Teeter-Totter Castle, they have Hit It Big, then they have Red Hot with Avenger Chuck on it right there. They have Luigi's Mansion Arcade, they have Paw Patrol, Dizzy Chicken, and they do still have token action. So right here we have Avenger, Chuck E. Cheese's, Boulder's Dozers. And I'll give you guys a second to look at the tokens if you'd like to, but it mostly looks like Rockstar in there. That's a shame, but Avenger characters are on it, which is always nice to see. They also have Fruit Ninja FX. They have the 2-player Monster Drop. No Chucky graphics, of course, on the 2-player games. They have another token game. Here is Winner's Wheel. They have Crank It. Then they have Wonderland, another token game, and Plants vs. Zombies. On this side, they have FGTV Out of Time. And then up there, they have Lit Crown Molding, the Where a Kid Can Be a Kid wordmark, and another large 2.0 logo. They have Flying Tickets, and then here's a cool one. They have Avenger Birthday Party. I'm not sure what tokens are in this one, but it's always nice to see the Avenger characters on there. And then they also have Hat Tricks, so they have a really nice assortment of token action here at Mentor. They have Dead Storm Pirates, and they have Alpine Racer, which is kind of nice to see. That's not extremely common. On the other side of Boulder's Dozers, they have Jelly Lab, and they have Subway Surfers, and they have Dicey Jump and Chuck E. Cheese's sketchbook with the Avenger characters. They also have the NOS Heat Racing game, They have, kind of in the middle here, in a weird spot, they have the Pop It for Gold with Avenger Chuck, and they have SpongeBob Ticket Coaster, and then they have more late Phase 4 booths along the Kid Check area. They have Mario Kart DX, and last but not least, Polar Slide. Alright, now let's take a look at the right-hand side of the store. So here to the right side of the showroom, they have the 2.0 order pickup sign, and then they have the 2.0 pickup window sign. However, it is new font, which is kind of interesting. They also have the new font emergency exit only sign in there. They have the Pasquale's Kitchen sign, which is kind of weirdly placed. And then out here, move out, and then we have the new font Thirst Station sign, which is the gray instead of the blue. So they do have some new font stuff in here, there and there so far. They also have the new font Caution Wood Floor sign, which is pretty common. They also have new wood floors in this store, so even though this is a refresh, they did get that. They do have a salad bar, and they also have the new font Our Veggies Are Hand Chopped Daily sign. They have their ad TV, and they have the pizzeria and games right there above the TVs. However, no new tiles. Up there they have the small 2.0 logo, and then over here is their prize counter. They have a pretty large one. They have the U1 sign right there, and it does light up. And then let's see what we got. They have all 6 Squishmallows. They have large Bella. They have, I don't see, oh there they are. They have small Bella, small Pasquale. They have all of the cubes. Really nice stock here. Lots of stuff. Tons of cotton candy. They have their old ice cube balls. Rockstar graphics there on the counter. And then moving on to the right of that, they have their restrooms hallway. It does not look like they got a restroom remodel. You can see they still have the old red tiles. However, they do have the new restroom sign and men's and women's there. Here they have Jet Rider and Bunny Pond, Hammer Fun, and Dog Pounder right next to their trampoline zone here in the kiddie ride area, which is the smaller 3-pad version with 2 pieces, Chucky and Munch. They also have Duo Drive, then they have KC Cobra right here. Moving on over here, they have the Chuck E. Cheese word mark. They also have the new font All You Can Play sign. Nice to see that. They have NBA Hoop Troop right here. And then they have this block ride from the 90s. It has the old CEC Entertainment logo. I believe this is only the second time I've seen this. I know Charleston, West Virginia had it, but this might have to be the thumbnail because that's really cool. Always like seeing that game. They also have the Mini Express. They have the Minions ride, Super Big Rig. They have the air hockey table right there with Rockstar Chuck, and then here's their Cheapo ride. This also has the darker purple color for the shirt. I remember seeing this at the Baltimore, Maryland store. They do have all Avenger buttons, Avenger there, and Rockstar there, and then all this is gone, of course. And then their last kiddie ride in this store is the blue Where a Kid Can Be a Kid race car. And then they have mostly red and blue booths, however, they do have one 90s booth right here. Alright guys, now let's do a real quick history lesson on the Chuck E. Cheese here in Mentor, Ohio. This location opened in July of 1998 with a Cyberamic 1 stage. Now, what's significant about this is this was actually the very last new store to open with Munch's Make Believe Band in the United States. So Studio C Alpha was already very common in 1988. Many stores had gotten it at this point. However, they must have had an extra set of Cyberamics laying around, or they wanted it specifically for this store. I'm not really 100% sure. If anybody knows, let me know down in the comments. But for some reason, this store ended up opening with Cyberamics and not Studio C. This store did open with the 90s remodel, of course, since it was 1998. However, in 2006, they did get the 2005 remodel. In 2009, they expanded the store, probably out to where the kiddie ride area is. That's my guess. And then that stayed pretty much the same all the way up until May of 2024 when they got the 2.0 refresh, which would have removed their Cyberamics and gave them this video wall and this dance floor. However, it was just a refresh, so they do still have their old furniture in the game room and showroom except for the benches, as you can see. So this is all either from opening day or from another remodel or expansion or whatever they got this furniture. And that is the history of this store. All right, now out here when you leave, they have the lobby carpet. They have a Chucky Day with the lit crown molding up there. They also have this, which probably is from opening day, I'm pretty sure. And out here in the lobby, they don't have a ton, but they do have the new font mission statement right here. They also have their good behavior guidelines and the Ohio No Firearms Allowed sign. Both of them are a mix of new and old font, new and old font. Alright guys, well that's going to conclude my visit to the Chuck E. Cheese here in Mentor, Ohio. As far as refreshes go, that was actually a pretty nice location. They have a bunch of Avenger games and token action in there as well. And it was nice to see a few new font posters that I normally don't get to see as well. So if you guys enjoyed the video, please subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.